And we're live again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode coming to you live on the Mandala X account, also on the Republic X account, and also Republic YouTube and Pac-Man Media. We're coming with two very special guests this week. Our usual co-host Pac-Man, but also with Anta, one of the OG Mandala founder. Welcome, boys.
I'm very excited to be here. But Anta, I'll let him take the stage because it's an honor to have Anta on our live stream.
See you, it's fine. Thank you. It's really honored to be here, and glad. It's quite a long way to go, and it's glad to be here and sharing a very great update for our ecosystems.
Perfect.
Normally what we do in these sessions, we have a bit of a general chat and then we kind of go off into some specific stuff. But we've only got Anta for a very short period of time today because are we allowed to share what you're doing after this? Who you're meeting with after this?
Cannot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Meeting
all right.
with a foreign government. So, yeah.
With a foreign government. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. Well, what we're going to do specifically today, as we'll jump straight in, as I guess the title of today's episode says project updates and sort of community Q&A. We want to put some of the, questions from the community and address them head on. So we want to, especially while we've got like Anta here, he's obviously pretty connected to a lot of the things that are happening. So Pac-Man, what we might do is we might throw over to you and you can sort of bring up some of the main questions that we had from the community after last week's episode. And we can really start diving in and addressing some of them.
Yeah, so there is actually about 24 questions this time. So I think last time we had like over 2,700 viewers or something, and people are like really interested in a lot of things. But what I'll do is like I'll filter through the question that just for you and me, and like especially for Anta, like government related questions, we will do that. And like also at the same time, I want to thank Anta here because Anta is actually the reason he's in this call is because he's seen some of the questions and some of the positive questions and negative questions, and he wanted to make sure that he's here to answer all the questions. Usually, like from a founder's perspective, this is exactly what you want to see from a founder. Like if community has some concerns, he's not hiding behind, a phone screen typing messages here. He's here right in front of you answering the questions. So anybody that has like any sort of like, whatever questions, he's here to answer them. So I will go through these, but in the meantime, anybody watching, you can actually write, there's a chat on the right side, you can type there and we'll be able to answer those. So Anta, I hope you're ready. Some of them are very difficult questions.
Yeah, please. Just shoot up.
All right, okay. One of the main criticisms we saw the people questioning was the authenticity of Mandala use cases, especially, around government involvement. When you say we are working with the government, what does that actually mean in practical terms?
We're working with the government. That means that we assisting government, we explaining government how it works, the blockchain works. But if you're asking the government, so this is one thing, it's a very difficult. I'm in myself, like we're starting on these use cases is quite a long time ago. Starting in 2021, we are discussing, explaining blockchain to government is not easy. And the one thing is, myself, I believe that blockchain is not only about the token. This blockchain is more than that, because blockchain has a lot of potential to creating the foundation of future digital ecosystems. So this is what we are telling the government. It's not easy. We are get spit out. We are get left out when when the first bullish, the bullish on 2021 with Bitcoin going crazy and everything, we get nothing. We almost bankrupt that time. So because they are only want to hear about the token. So, but the one thing, the token need a utility. The token need a pushing forward a real use cases. That why the power of blockchain is not only about the token, but the power of blockchain is about security, creating a cyber trust. So when we are I'm working with the government quite a lot. I'm working not as a government, I'm working as a vendor for the governments. So I'm starting this being a vendor to government starting in 2014 for helping a smart city implementation, digital transformation. So The next transformation when the internet is going flooded with a lot of information is the verifiable internet. So starting in last year, we explaining blockchain without telling blockchain. So this is what is kind of making a different kind of approach to selling blockchain on the government. So we are selling cyber trust. We're building a framework we call Cyber Trust Maturity Framework. You can go to our website, valdiola.io. So we are focused on how the government thinking, because if we talk about blockchain, the government, the first question is, so it's about Bitcoin. So it's kind of a problem that we have. Blockchain has a different, has a 4-layer of security. So the last layer is tokenomics. This is why token is so important for the last one, because the security, the current security, cyber security systems, they don't have a tokenomic mechanisms. So this is the last one. So our concept is creating the mechanisms using blockchain to protect, creating the cyber trust, creating privacy, creating integrity. So this is what we are doing to, selling to the government. And then the government starting last year, the government like opened their eyes, and now it's like easy to them to understand, because we are saying, oh, it's blockchain. Oh, because of what we are doing, starting in Bali Blockchain Summit 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago, and then last year's, our voice is already heard. Now we are really high on trust from the government, both locals, governments, ministry in Indonesia. So we are not want to claim like Indonesia is a Mandalajan or something like that. We don't like it to claim like that, because I think it will be, I'm Indonesian, so it's not good for our country to doing that. But we will saying that what we are bringing now, it's making government open their eyes that blockchain is beyond crypto. Blockchain is also creating the future trustless digital world. So this is what we are telling the government now, and they are accepting it now. We have a really, a lot of use cases over there. For example, like, okay, I'm answering the question, who am I and what is my connection? I'm the vendors of the government. I'm the consultants with government for digital transformation and the futures of data evolution. Maybe I will explain a little bit about data evolution. The data evolution we're starting is physical data. We call it physical data. This is like a paper, non-digital one. And then we move forward. The evolution move forward to electronic data, this is PDF. You have data, you scan it, and then there is electronic. And then the next one is digital. You can programize the data. But the problem is now the data is everywhere, flooded, and we don't have a control. Who has the control? The people or the company that own the database, like the services, like social media or something like that. So we have a question, which data that we can prove with data is had integrity, and then the data is evolutionized to next step. There is verified data. The last one, the next revolution is tokenized data. The data is being assignable data. So this is what we are aiming to. And blockchain has for my side, because I am blockchain, bullish. So I will say only blockchain can do that.
Yeah.
For now. Okay.
Just going back to what you said about Bali Blockchain Summit, I want to just add my own personal take as well. When I started working with Mandala Chain a few years, I think 2.5 years ago, I always used to hear about the government connection and stuff. But when the first time I went to Indonesia and Bali Blockchain Summit 2 years ago, I was expecting very older generation of ministers turning up and not knowing anything about blockchain. But I was really surprised to see young generation, people of my age and your age were like the ministers, and they knew blockchain like your average crypto user. They knew everything. They knew what they can do. They knew the technology. So then I realized it's not about educating the government about what it is. It's just about telling them how this technology can be useful in a national level. And that was great to see. A lot of people, they can only just sit on social media and see this project is talking about the government, but they don't know like the government, how keen the government is on their side. And that's maybe something we can do and educate our wider crypto community on the how interested the government is.
I'll just jump in here as well because I'm showing in the background Medisa, which is also one of the use cases. So this is like medical on chain, and it's got like an AI like chatbot, I guess, that doctors can use to be creating digital records. And this is super cool. Like I've seen this full presentation that Anta's team over at Baliola when they were rolling this out, and Medisa won this particular competition, Anta.
Yes, Medisa is another one of the winners of Google AI Bootcamp. So Medisa is collaborating AI and blockchain. So the problems of doctors and patients now in Indonesia, I mean, it's globally, but our case is Indonesia, is because now 96% of medical records is already on electronic. So this is on the screen. So the problem now is the patient feel left out because the patient are facing a back of a laptop now. The doctor is not facing the patient. The doctors focus on the screen and then like typing for every single thing. It's kind of losing the touch of touch of communication. And this is kind of making us as a robot. We want to humanize technology by using AI, but the problems, if we are doing the medical record is so personal, we need a protection. We need the data integrity. Let's make sure that the data of the transcription of the AI is not, manipulate. So we're using blockchain to protect that. So it's a combination between two. And on the Google Bootcamp, they love it. So this is why we are one of the winners.
This is so cool, and I know that we've only got limited time, and I know Seth's still got 23 more questions. So I don't know if you want to keep plugging, Seth. I'll let this run in the background. Some of the videos of all the things that Baliola is doing while we answer some of these questions, but because we only do have Anta for a short period of time today. But I just think it shows that like the main question was like, how deep is this integration? And we'll let the videos play in the background as we discuss. But maybe Seth, do you want to tee up another question?
There's quite a good question on the chat. I'll put it up on the screen. It's from somebody called Marco. It says, are these conversations exploratory pilot programs, MOUs, or are there already real implementations happening behind the scenes?
It's already real. I mean, if you're checking how I can put in a link on the chat, you just put in a chat, right?
You can if you put it in, you can share screen if you want to, or you can put it in the chat and I can share it.
Yeah, so Mandala application chain is basically already being in an e-catalog in Indonesia, this is the e-catalog is like one click away if they want to buy the fabric. So Mandala chain is an ecosystem. It's not a single chain. This is like Mandala is a space. So we have like 3 layers of infrastructures. The first one is Fabric, which is Fabric is the niche or like niche of blockchain, which is every single company, every single sectors, every organization, they can make their own chain based on that technology. So they can create their own node and everything there's over there. And then on top of that, there is what we call it Mandala application chain Signet, this is the layer 2 for finalize everything is here. So on the Signet, the nodes, it's basically based on region. Like Indonesia, we have MSA Signet Indonesia, which is now consists of 8 validators, these 8 validators is not only Baliola, it's spread. So we're creating the mechanisms of decentralization. So the big question is, if we're selling a fabric, we are putting this fabric to the government, that means it's centralized, right? So this is what we call it DINO. Decentralized in name only. So the government, they have the nodes, they are like validate everything. So what is the best blockchain for that? I mean, there is not blockchain. It's decentralized using blockchain. This is decentralized in name only. So that is why we're creating the layer 2 mechanism. Then layer 3 is Fabric. Layer 2 is MSA Signet, this is the public notary. This based on the region, and this both chain is basically compliant with ISO already. So this is what, and then For this SIGNET, the problem is this SIGNET is not only us, it's a lot of server over there. So we have 8 validators already. So how we can incentivize the validators? So this is what we call it SIGNET pool happening. So for being a validators of this MSC SIGNET, you need to staking Kepeng. You need to staking a certain amount of Kepeng based on the region. On Indonesia is about 250 million rupiah worth of Kepeng. It will be there. So this SIGNET pool, it's basically come from the mainnet. So it will be also entering all of the data and all the state of the MHS SIGNET. So if there is another country, there is another MHS SIGNET, maybe like, I don't know, maybe X country, it will be X SIGNET. They also doing the same thing. So we want to creating, even though that this like the government as a chain, but this is basically still decentralized because there is a lot of law in some country that all of their data need to be in their land. So with this ecosystem, with this infrastructures structures, we are testing it in Indonesia, and they say yes. It's not like it's following the law and the rules over there. So this is how we making you're putting the value and then the MOU. So now the fabric is already implemented in West Java, and then there is 3 provinces. It's on waiting now. They already budgeting it, so we are waiting now. So so this is already happening, and there is 2 ministry will testing the MSC SIGNET also. So yeah, just wait on the news, guys. We will updating once it's already implemented, because we don't like to saying something that is not done yet.
Yeah,
this is why we're showing this in the back. Yeah, sorry, Seth. Yeah, just as we were saying in the background, as you've been talking, until we've been showing the 2025 highlights from your year last year. And it's crazy just seeing all of the times you've spoken, all of the meetings that you've had, everything. So like people who are maybe saying that some of this stuff is not real have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. And like, this is not MOU. This is not like early stage concept stuff. This is stuff that's been happening for years. And like, we've just seen a full loop of all of just some of the 2025 stuff that you've been doing, crazy big meetings of like so many different people and different elements of different government departments. So like, yeah, like it's kind of a little bit frustrating when you want people to be able to just know the magnitude of what we're building, but then they're very easy to sit behind a keyboard and be like, this is fake. Like, man, no idea.
Yeah. Anta, there's a lot of questions coming in the live chat, and I have pre-sent questions in the Telegram chat. I don't think we'll have enough time because I think we need like 3-4 hours meeting just with you. Just to
Have you got 5 more minutes, Anta? Have you got 5 more minutes?
Okay, I will. Yeah, I have 5 more minutes. Let's shoot it.
So let's go one more question. Yeah.
A lot of crypto projects throw around government partnerships as a buzzword. It's getting very common. How is Mandala's approach different from that? I think we've just been through that. Like we talked about all of this. So.
This is the one thing is we want to tell you guys, Mandala is not selling what we call it the buzzword.
Yeah,
we are selling a futures of developing the futures internet. Not with, like the word with blockchain, everything is blockchain. No, we using the word cyber trust, which is blockchain is one of the tools, a killer tool to do that. Yeah. So this is how we are selling the government. The problem is they say that the government partnership, it's good. I mean, we want that. But the question is, do you really know what is government need? Know about what is really government want to buy? Is it the token? No. That's why in Mandala application chain, in Mandala chain, we have a GAP, gas allowance pool, which is the developers who are putting all the token. It's not the users. Because if you bring, the one thing is happening when we implement in West Java, and then one of our blockchain developers, I already told him, you cannot selling this to our client because they will say no. But he's so stubborn, and it's like, I want to do this because this is the right way, blah 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 blah. Okay, I leave it. In the end,
Yeah.
The government kicked him out. And then I go forward and I say, no, sir. So basically what we are doing, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, you are right. The government don't need this. No, they don't even understand. The focus of the government is creating a protection and make sure that all of their people is live well. So we are explaining blockchain for cyber trust is basically to creating the protection for cyber wealth for all of the people. So based on that, they don't need, they are hard to explain how to install a wallet and everything like that. So we are creating the mechanism of Web 2.5 for doing that. And it's already implemented for 1 year. No complaint. So there
I think that the next question is very interesting one as well. What would happen to Mandala chain and its use cases after the government has been changed or the elections decide there's a new government in place?
Election. One thing, I'm not binding to political. I'm binding to technocratic. So it's basically what we are selling is not, okay, I'm is your friend, and then because of you are being governor, so you need to using my solution. That is not how we work, bro. So we work about, we prove it, you know, this is not how we work. It is not how we work. We work is not as like a status quo. Yes, I know some of the people in the government, but I also has a bad feeling if I'm selling myself as a guarantee. I want to make our technology as a guarantee, their own guarantee for using it. So even though that whoever will be there, whoever will be the president, whoever will be the governors, the mayors, they will not change it as long as we can prove it's running well, it's protected. So that is our client. So it's basically, it's a, what do you call it? Do you know that like a big brand, like can I say the name of the brand here?
Of course,
like
you can.
like like Microsoft, but like AWS. Do they change it because the mayors change it? No, they don't change it because what? They use it and it's profitable.
When you're building infrastructure, it's not going to be done within a month or a year. So it's going to take years for it to be like implemented. Government change doesn't matter because, you know, the infrastructure is going to take years to build anyway. And you're right. Microsoft doesn't back off. Elon Musk doesn't back off with Indonesian, you know, his plans with internet. So it doesn't matter.
So it's basically what we are doing is like we're building a product that can be used by them and solving. It's not about everything needs to be blockchain. No, everything needs to be proving and using our technology. So our team, we have a big research team in Balyola that focus on searching the experience, what there's problems, what is the solution, and we asking them to be our partner, you know, and then we are working together. So I think there's all. That's all. I hope it can be solving.
I'm gonna take two more.
We do have to let him go. We do have to let him go. He's got a very important meeting we got to get to. But
this is a good one. Anta, just a very quick one. Last question. I promise it's the last one. Okay. Realistically speaking, how long do you think it will take before an average Indonesian citizen is aware of Mandala and understand what it's doing? So this is not government. This is like what an average Indonesian would think of or know Mandala.
I think for that, his question is to Michael from the you know, from the public relations, also the media side. But for me, I want the government. I want the public. They get the benefit of their data is protected. They know that they safe. While they can innovate or they can do something crazy, but they know that they can protect it. They know that they're protected by us. So they don't need to understand about blockchain. They don't need to understand about a lot of things, but they got the benefit. They got the impact itself. So this is what I'm praying. But for how long is it? I think I will asking Michael for answer that. And I think it's as fast as we can do, as long as we can creating a lot of buzz and also a lot of noise, and it's proven. I think it can be fast that you think.
Yeah,
It's faster
no, I
than
think
anything.
once people start seeing using, like for example, the medical and the healthcare, all the use cases, I think it will grow popular anyway. So that's for sure. Anta, thanks very much. I know it's been longer. We'll
Thank
definitely
you,
need you back
guys.
at some point.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Anta.
definitely. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry I cannot follow it through until the finish, but I'm really glad I can speaking here and really honored to you guys. Without you all guys, we cannot do like this. This is because of your support. So make sure let's go together and support it. We are open to discuss over where you have Pacman and also Michael, and yeah, I hope I can be here regularly. Thank
Oh
you,
yeah,
guys.
yeah. We look forward to
See you.
that.
That's
Thank
good,
you so
Anta.
much.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm lucky enough. I'm lucky enough to know where he's going, and he needs to go. So I'm happy. Let's rip through some of these questions still. Yeah, let's rip through some of these questions.
It's actually very good to have Anta here because two reasons. One, like it shows that that a lot of projects I've seen, like the community would have, like the founders would have, like the moderators or whatever to just deal with community noise, and the founders just completely dissipate. But once you actually have a lot of noise and questions, and then he actually taken time out of his busy life, and you can tell he's busy. He's really busy, but he's still here.
You see all the things he just done this last little bit. Like, it's crazy how many times he spoke at conferences and how many seminars he's conducting, how many meetings he's done, how many awards that they've won. Like,
he
was.
I remember when we had a live stream last time. He was in the car driving somewhere to a government meeting, and he had somebody sleeping in the back of his car because so like this is how committed he is. Like, I would still make sure that he's available for the community as well. So that's great.
He's flying somewhere every week. Like, he's got a lot going on, and the Baliola team has done some crazy stuff and heaps of different deals, and so much stuff is in the pipeline. So like, we've been dealing with like a lot of the community and retail like growth. But they're just like their application, like what Parity is doing right now, how they're like, we're going to build applications for Polkadot.
Yeah.
This is how they started out. They're like, okay, cool. We need a blockchain. We'll get the blockchain. Mandala Chain Foundation can get that going. At Baliola, they're just like application. And they've got so many different use cases that they're just spinning plates on at the moment. And you're seeing it from the video. If you're listening to Anta and you weren't watching some of the stuff in the background from that video, man, that was just last year, all of that stuff. So yeah. Have fun, everyone.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, one of the content we did yesterday was most of the people will discover Mandala once it's already everywhere, and that's exactly what it is. Like, it's literally trying to find its way to like all the ministries, all the governments, other nations, and everything. And once people know this, they're like, oh yeah, I didn't know Mandala was doing so much. Because that's why we're trying to like bring more awareness, like what the project is all about. Talking about Polkadot, I have quite a few questions from the community, and I think it's only fair to go through them all. Even if sometimes questions are negative, criticism, whatever, like I'd rather deal with them rather than being quiet about it. So, Michael, do you want to have your big boy hat on, or?
I'm ready. Let me have a drink. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one, I won't mention names because I'm not going to call people out for asking questions. There was a lot of FUD and pretty salty reactions when Mandala decided to move away from Polkadot. How do you personally see those comments now with some distance?
Okay, firstly, the premise of the question is incorrect because we're not moving away from Polkadot. This is an incorrect question. So the whole strategy changed long time ago when Polkadot decided to become a smart contract layer. And Polkadot Hub became the focus. We announced this a long time ago that we were going to treat Polkadot Hub like an application layer and that we were going to be deploying our applications to Polkadot Hub. So that changed a long time ago. The idea around the mainnet not being a parachain and only came about like more recently because that doesn't seem to be like in Polkadot the focus right now. Like, I don't know of any new like parachains that are spinning up, or like it doesn't seem to be like the ecosystem that that really is fostering the whole network of multiple different chains. And so, but we do need a mainnet, and we need a mainnet to secure like a lot of all of these government applications and government chains. And so we've spent 3 years fighting government partners about why we're a parachain and not an Ethereum-based chain, fighting them on it. And so then when Polkadot is not necessarily making it a huge focus, well, it doesn't it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense there neither. So the mainnet itself that will just bind together some of these like Mandala application chains, yes, that will be an Ethereum-based chain. But the strategy has not changed at all. We're not leaving Polkadot. The applications will still go onto Polkadot Hub.
This is a good one. Do you think some of that backlash says more about Mandala's decision or more about the current state of Polkadot community itself?
I think the backlash about Mandala's decision is about the state of Polkadot itself. I mean, like, it's probably a conversation for another day whether you do or do not agree with the direction of Polkadot. Like, this is not a decision that's based around that, nor will we give our, like, I'm not going to make some sort of crazy headline here about what we think about the direction of Polkadot. Like, for us, we've been part of the Polkadot ecosystem for 3 years. We've been really well supported by Polkadot and the Polkadot community. We have a really great affinity to the Polkadot DAO, and so we want to continue to follow through on the mission and the vision. I think that the Polkadot vision changed more so before the Mandala vision changed. So yes, Polkadot Hub is now the focus and parachains are not the focus. And so we're following that vision. We announced that at Sub-Zero that applications will go on Hub the same way that Polkadot is driving that direction. So I don't know, like, sentiment around the crypto market is not great at the moment. So I don't think it's necessarily just confined to Polkadot.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Sorry. Okay. So it almost feels like a cycle where some parts of community keep playing the victim. Man, some of these questions I don't even want to read. Some of the community keeps playing the victim while also attacking anyone who leaves. What do you think drives that mentality?
I mean, everyone talks their book. Everyone wants to talk their book. And it's like either, I'm holding X token. And so if you say anything negative about it, whether or not it's true, then I hate you. Like, that's just the internet. And we've learned this last kind of week that most of the time you're engaging with someone on X or YouTube comments or wherever it is, there's a pretty good chance it's probably a bot, like, engagement farming you. So, like, there's no point getting that worked up about it. The only real frustrating ones, which are like a dagger to the heart, is when, like, I know these people personally in real life and they're spitting out things that are factually untrue, like we're leaving Polkadot or our project's fake. Like, I know these people who are saying this online, and you're wrong. And rather than asking me what's happening, to go and spout that off on the internet I think is childish.
Yeah, I saw. I don't want to mention names and spark another sort of drama, but I know two people I actually spoke to personally and told them the plans about how they're going multi-chain and everything. And they still go on social media and talk about this. And then, it goes to the point where you're thinking, like, does this person have any interest in Mandala or Polkadot, or does this person want to be, influencer, like, or just want some likes and some retweets on the Twitter and social media, just want some attention. And so, like, I intentionally have not responded or interacted with these people because I think they're just looking for attention. They don't really have the best interest, because if they did, they know where I am or where you are. They can, directly reach out and say, like, oh, what's happening. So
yeah.
Anyway, Polkadot often positions itself as this big, mature ecosystem, but there's also a pattern of constant drama and internal fighting. Why do you think that is?
I mean, ultimately, most retail investors are there because they want the number to go up. And I think if all of the metrics were as they were, but the number was like 10 times what it is right now, they wouldn't be fighting. So I don't really think that they're arguing the particular points. They're arguing the fact that the number's not going up as fast as they want it to go up. But incentive structures are not always aligned that way. I think most founders, and whether that's Gavin or whether it's Vitalik or whether it's Tolly, like, I don't think that they always are optimizing for, like, number go up. I think they're optimizing for the best version of the technology they possibly can. And, people who are public facing involved inside the ecosystem probably get the brunt of, like, the complaints. But, that's the meme. It's like, someone called the devs, why is the number not going up? Like, that's the meme, because the devs don't control it. Like,
these I'm going to skip some of these questions because they're just all about the same kind of negativity about, like, we're not leaving Polkadot. So, like, all these questions, I think we answered everything pretty well.
What's on my hat? Like, what's going on here? Like, Or Polkadot hat on, like.
No. Personally, like I've always been like I've involved in Polkadot since 2018, since Kusama days, before even Polkadot existed.
Same.
So like, I am a Polkadot maxi from day one. I do have some PTSD from parachains and stuff, but like all projects have their ups and downs. That doesn't mean you're just gonna abandon the project that you've believed in for a number of years. Anyway, so we'll skip all of these. We'll come back to Mandala questions. We've done this with Anta. Okay, so do you see Mandala becoming something people knowingly interact with, or more like infrastructure that works quietly in the background? Well, that's a good question.
Both. So a lot of the stuff that Anta just talked about, people will be using Mandala without even knowing that they're using Mandala. So a lot of that, when Anta said Web 2.5, that's what he means. Like a lot of this stuff will be blockchain in the back end, but it's kind of Web 2 services on the front end. I think people will get really familiar with Mandala itself on the retail side, because we'll have a whole bunch of retail applications, just like Moxa being our DeFi hub. And there'll be all sorts of RWA integrations which come there as well in the future. And so like we'll obviously have a name, but then there also will be a whole lot of use case of the technology in the back end of different applications.
Awesome. Next question is quite a good one. Actually, there's 2 follow-up questions with that as well. We'll go one by one. Mandala Blockchain Academy talks a lot about education and building in-house developers, but let's be honest, a large part of Indonesia still doesn't really know what blockchain is. Do you see education as a bigger mission than just pushing use cases?
I would push back on that. I think Indonesia is like probably a lot more blockchain savvy than a majority of countries in this world. So I don't know what metrics they're looking at, but the metrics that I'm looking at shows that some of the largest blockchain adoption exists in Indonesia. So the fact that it's the 4th most populated country in the world, and it's had very clear blockchain regulations for a very long time. I think that there's a huge developer market in Indonesia. So I think what AK and the Mandala Blockchain Academy is doing is going to be huge, like huge.
Yeah. Next question is similar, but we'll go through anyway. How do you balance explaining complex blockchain concepts without overwhelming people who are just trying to live their day-to-day lives?
Well, that's like what we've been doing at Republic Rupiah for a long time. So Republic Rupiah is the Indonesian-speaking platform. Republic Labs Republic with a K is the English variant. But yeah, like we've been doing that, trying to simplify like blockchain technology, like concepts for a long time. And that's, I think, the sign of a good teacher. If you can take something complex and simplify it so people can understand it, that means that you're a good teacher. And so really what people need to know is that it's decentralized computing. It's instead of having one data center, you've got heaps of data centers and your work gets recorded at many different ones. So like it's not overly complex unless you want to get technical. Like the general concept of blockchain can be quite simple. Blocks are like pages in a book. The chain is the book. The block is the page. Like, we've been able to teach this in a million different ways in multiple different languages now as well. And so, yes, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think once people touch and feel and they play around with a wallet and they receive a token, you catch on pretty quick. Like all of us have learned it. So like, that's why we're here. We all had to learn it at some point.
I remember very well, this was like back in 2015, 2016. I used to ask my friend, how do I buy Bitcoin? And back in the day, like we only had Kraken in the UK, but even then it was like, I think P2P, like you actually pay for somebody in person. It wasn't like, the online transfers.
Or
so it didn't take me long to understand and learn. Like a year later, 2017, I was pro in like how to do everything. So it doesn't take long. As long as somebody's keen to learn, that's quite straightforward. What does success look like on a national level? Is it million of users, government system running on chain, or something else entirely?
I think it's probably the more government systems we can get on chain, the better. I think ultimately, like there has been in the developing world, like a lot of data insecurity. And so I think the more like data security that we can get, and that's why if you talk to Anta for an extended period of time, you can hear it in his voice. It's just like it's data sovereignty, data security, data sovereignty, data security. He's not out there selling blockchain, block space, TPS, throughput, total value locked, like APYs. That's not what he's talking. He's talking like data security and data sovereignty. And so when he's out there connecting with government, I think it's like the more integrations you get into everyday life and into everyday systems, and the backends get replaced with like decentralized public networks, that's the best case scenario for us.
Yeah. There's a couple of questions on the chat as well. Another good one. If Mandala had stayed in Polkadot, what do you think people would be complaining about right now instead?
Well, probably about us leaving Polkadot when we haven't. That's probably what they'd be complaining about. Like,
yeah, I mean, look, it's not Polkadot. It's like the way markets are. Like you've seen Bitcoin just crashing down to like 69,000 earlier. The way markets are right now, everybody is very salty. Everybody is very kind of annoyed and depressed and stuff. I've always noticed. I've personally worked with many projects in like marketing, handling with community. I've always noticed that when markets are bullish, everybody's happy. You could literally tell somebody to like swear at them, tell them to like F off or whatever, and they will smile at you and laugh at you. You look at somebody weird in this kind of market, everybody have a mindset. They'll be ready to kill you. Like this is how bad it is. Like when people are sitting with their like bags seeing red, and people still have bills to pay, people still have like expenses to cover, and then markets are really, really down like this bad, then it's normal. It's general. I don't even blame these people. I don't even have any hard feelings against like people who have these comments, because I think it's just like human nature. When you are angry, everything makes you angry. When you're depressed, everything makes you depressed. So yeah, I just want to address, like, if somebody out there watching and they still have like any concerns or whatever, please feel free to share them. Like you see me and Michael, we take them with a smile. We don't lose sleep over it and think like, oh, what do I do now? Next question. Sorry. Oh yeah, there you go. When will the Mandala Academy to be open to everyone? It's actually Mandala
Block. So there'll be specific stuff which is university centric, but then there'll be online stuff as well. So for sure, absolutely, we want to try and spread this far and wide. So they're building out modules at the moment for like online stuff, but there'll be a lot of in-person stuff as well. But they'll both be available.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions. I've skipped some of the FUD ones. There's a couple of but anyway. So if you could force your crypto FUD comments to actually read one full document before posting, what would it be?
Maybe if anyone actually watched our stream from last week, they'd know exactly what was going on. But nobody did watch the stream. They just watched Jay Kusumerian's tweet and then reacted to it without actually knowing the content of what was going on there. So I think we were pretty clear about. Yeah.
It was actually quite fun because like I've personally like known Jay and have like had live streams with him and had chats with him. He's a quite good person with like quite a good sense of humor as well. So like knowing that, like we were doing all these like GIF images, it was good fun. What's harder, building blockchain infrastructure with a government or explaining to a crypto Twitter that you are not everything is a rug?
Probably explaining to crypto Twitter, I would say. I think it's been easier talking to governments.
Yeah. Okay, this last question. If Mandala was launching today with zero context, what would critics call it? Too early, too centralized, or too real for crypto?
I hope it would be the first one or the last one. I mean, you'd rather be too early than too late. I don't think the whole point of what we were doing here is to not be centralized. It's the whole reason why there's a public mainnet. Otherwise, Anta and the Baliola team could have just been selling like SaaS, like, building private chains for people. But that's not what wanted to happen. Like when he first came to me and said, hey, this is the opportunity. We're like, we want to make this decentralized. How do we have a decentralized public mainnet at the center of it? Well, that was the whole idea of actually having a Mandala chain instead of just building, you just take fee for, payment for service and build someone a private chain and see you later. That's not blockchain though.
There are some questions about the token price, market cap, speculation. So I'm going to skip through those because we are not going to talk about token prices.
Not financial advice, guys.
Yeah, especially given the current market, I don't want to say anything right now because I don't know myself, like what's going on, what's going to happen. Okay, so the last and final question. If the loudest voices in Polkadot are still tweeting about Mandala a year from now, would you consider that a failure or proof that you're doing something right?
No, you definitely want to be like talked about. I think that's the worst part in any business is when not necessarily people talking bad things about you, but when they're not talking about you. So yeah, like people can speak about like incorrectly about you, but obviously like you're living rent free then. But yeah, we're just going to keep building. Like we can't control what crypto Twitter incorrectly thinks about what you're doing.
Yeah, there's one actually. Take the last one that just came in. Where can I find Mandala's roadmap? I think we mentioned this not last live stream, but the one before. Like we will do that after TGE, right, Michael?
Yeah, I think there might be a basic one. Let me just have a quick look here on the.
Yeah, while you're looking for it, the reason we don't have a roadmap on our website like most projects do at the moment is because there's quite a lot of things that we are going through right now. One is like the use cases. There's like, as we mentioned last time, there are potential new use cases as well. So once we have these partnerships finalized with the government ministries, we'll be able to add like what use case is going live at what stage, and what you'll be able to see. And I think we are only 2 weeks away from TGE, so I think after TGE we can probably give like a more realistic roadmap.
Yeah, I mean, like you can kind of see a lot of the stuff on the website about what we're working on and where it will be going. But yeah, there'll be heaps of more information that comes out shortly. We're just all guns blazing, mainnet, TGE, and everything associated with that.
Yeah, I am still very excited about TGE, but I'm hoping the markets are in a bit better condition right there, like they are right now. It's not just crypto; it's just like the gold and silver as well. They crashed this morning. Nasdaq, S&P, Dow, everything is just having like a really hard time, especially Nasdaq for the last 2-3 days. All the tech stocks are going down, so it's a very, very difficult time. But I'm hoping that we are in a better situation by the time we are about to TGE.
Always a good time to be involved in Mandala.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's everything, guys. Thanks very much. If you have any more questions, please feel free to just submit them on TGE, send them. I'm actually going to create I'm going to share the Google Doc forum thing in the Telegram chat and maybe on our X as well. So next time people can actually submit their questions, and if they want to, we can give them a shout out as well.
I'll go hang out in the Telegram chat for a little bit too after this. So if you want to come swing by, you're more than welcome. We're happy to just